first editing hack, I'm going to show you a really cool little technique borrowed from the world of makeup and cosmetics to create more depth and dimension to the face, all the whilst creating a more pleasing and attractive look. And it's all about accentuating the highlights and shadows in the cheekbone and jawline so as to make these features pop and look more defined. And all it requires is just a few clicks in Photoshop, so without further ado, let's get started. And so the first thing we want to do is hit P for the pen tool, and then to create a tapered teardrop shape over the highlight above the cheekbone by clicking once to create a point, clicking twice to create a second point whilst dragging the cursor down to create a curve. Hold Alt and click the second point to reset the curve, and then click back into the first point whilst dragging upwards to create a second curve. Right click over your shape and select Make Selection and hit Enter. From here, we can go ahead and create a curves adjustment layer, and automatically our selection will be loaded into the layer mask, which we can verify by holding Alt and clicking into the layer mask thumbnail right here. Click back into the layer thumbnail, then drag a point on this curve upwards to brighten our selection we made over the highlight. Click back into the layer mask thumbnail, then go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and select a value of about 70 or 80. This will help to soften and feather the sharp edge of our selection for a more smooth and realistic look. Now it's time to repeat the aforementioned steps, this time targeting the shadows under the cheekbone. Now, instead of dragging the point on the curve upwards, what you want to do is drag it down to darken this area. Go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and hit Enter to smooth out our selection. Repeat these steps one last time now for the jawline. Only this time we're going to drag our curve upwards to brighten our selection. Feel free to refine the brightness of each selection by adjusting the opacity over here, until you're completely satisfied with how the effect looks. Moving on now to another little trick borrowed from the world of beauty and cosmetics, which is to make your model's skin shine and seemingly glow from within. I like to use this technique in a lot of my work as I believe it creates a truly flattering and magical effect.